Hello and welcome to Gank That
That
Drink,
drink.
a supernatural drinking game podcast. It's a podcast where we make up rules to drinking. We make up drinking game rules for our favorite show, Supernatural. We play along with those rules as we watch the episodes, and then we recap the episodes for you and tell you how the drinking game rules did. How'd they do? How'd they play out? Were they great? Was it a good game? Did they not hit enough?
We are also the I'm just going to go ahead and claim this, number one podcast for can opening ASMR. That's all
Yeah.
I'm going to say. I think we can claim that spot on the internet.
Yeah. We'll break
So
the internet.
if that's what you're into, then listen to the very beginning of our podcast
We
and
got
nothing
you.
else. At least give
We
us that
got you.
play. Give us that play. Yeah, that's the gist of what we're doing here, Krissy. And I introduce ourselves. Who are you?
Yeah. I'm Krissy Lenz, one of the directors of the Neighborhood Comedy Theater in downtown Mesa, Arizona. Who are you?
I'm Nate McWhorter, a performer at the Neighborhood Comedy Theater in downtown Mesa, Arizona, and I'm very excited to be with you and talking about this episode today, Krissy. That is your pick
It's my
today.
pick. It means I made up the drinking game. It means I'm going to recap it for you.
And it's a good drinking game. I enjoyed it. It was quite fun.
Okay, good. Yes, today is my episode. That means I made up the drinking game rules. Are you ready to be reminded of what they are?
What are those rules, Krissy?
All right. Rule number 1. If someone calls someone ugly, take a drink. Rule number 2. If black ectoplasm ooze comes out of anybody,
Yeah.
take a drink. If there's a flashback, take a drink. Take a shot or take a double drink when we get Dean in shorts.
Yeah.
Take a drink for smooching. Take a drink for an inside the trunk shot. Take a drink for a BM scene, a boy melodrama scene. Take a drink when someone says the family business. Take a drink when all the students chant. And then I added on the Sammy rule. If anyone calls Sam Sammy, you yell Sammy and take a drink.
Sammy.
All right, those are our rules. This is Supernatural After School Special. Then we get a lot of talk about Dad and how Dad treated them when they were younger. Sammy says, when I told Dad I was afraid of the thing in my closet, he gave me a gun. I was 9 years old. We were raised like warriors. Dad leaves and says, lock the door, don't go out of the motel room, and most importantly, I know, Dad, watch out for Sammy.
There were quite a few moments in this from a very supernatural Christmas.
Yes, there were.
There were quite
Including
a few.
them being like, Dad's going to be home. Yeah, Dad's going to be home.
Yeah,
Of course,
yeah,
Dad's going to
all
be
those
home.
scenes. I was like, oh man, we just get back to back great episodes on that.
Yeah, where is he? He's on business. I went to college. Dad's the one that said I should stay gone. Dad says, we needed you and you walked away. Then Dad says, to contradict all of that, this isn't the life I wanted for you. And it's like, really? Because it's the
Right?
life you forced them to have.
Dragged him back into.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, yeah.
And then it's the kids again. Dad would have been here if he could. Now. High school kids are sitting around the cafeteria, slut shaming their friend Taylor. The kids all start chanting at her. Slut, 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 slut. Take a drink.
It was harsh. Very harsh.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to hate these kids right out the gate.
Yeah, they do a good job of that.
Mm-hmm. Taylor goes to sit down with another girl who we gather is a bit of an outcast because she's sitting alone. The girl is nice to Taylor, and she says like things like, "Don't listen to those jerks. They're just being jerks." And Taylor says, "What I don't need pity from you, you fat ugly pig. Take a drink." In the bathroom the next day, Taylor is crying. The girl comes in and says, "You think I'm ugly? Take a drink." She smashes her head into the mirror, her face into the sink, drags her to the toilet, and swirlies her to death in a very violent scene.
So you counted every time the word ugly was said, or
Yes.
anytime someone called someone ugly? So I knew I should have just been marking the uglies because I was playing it by when she was saying you call like I didn't think of her referencing the previous ugly calling as being calling someone ugly.
Oh.
So I was reading way too into that rule and not having fun with it. And so our
Uh-huh.
comments are going to be different on that one.
Okay. As the uh toilet swirls and the girl lays dead on the floor, black ooze squeezes out of her eye. Take a drink. We get the title card. Supernatural. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. At a mental hospital, Sam is interviewing the girl. "Why did you say you were possessed?" he wants to know. "Because I couldn't stop what I was doing," she says. "I never wanted to kill her. I never wanted to hurt her." So Sam thinks like it was not a demonic possession because she never smelled sulfur or saw black
Right.
smoke. In the car, the
Yes.
boys think maybe it's not a demon. Let's check out the school. Truman High School, home of the bombers.
The same school they used in Smallville. So we are getting some
Oh,
CW crossover magic.
crossover magic. The boys went to this high school for about a month when they were younger. Flashback. Young Dean is now an older teenager. Young Dean has had his growth spurt. He's
Yeah, it's
now
yeah.
firmly an older teenager.
We have a new actor.
Hmm.
We have a new actor with the same Sam actor as the previous season, but new Dean actor.
Yeah. So Sam hasn't aged, but Dean has aged about 5 years.
Yeah. Yes. It's very interesting. And Chris, it's just interesting because we literally just watched an episode where we saw the same kid. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Colin Ford is playing Sam Winchester, and Brock Kelly is playing Dean Winchester.
Rock
Brock
Kelly.
Kelly is playing Dean Winchester.
Who, if
And
you go watch, if you go like it's because like the Netflix like always plays like a season one clip. Literally, they do a good job. He looks almost like season one Jensen Ackles. I
he
think.
sounds like him too. Like he's
Yeah.
doing a good impression.
Yes, it's a really good job. These days they'd probably just do it with AI.
Right. They
Wouldn't
would
even
just
have an
de-age
actor.
Jensen
Yeah,
Ackles.
exactly.
So they were still in the flashback. He's like, "You got your lunch, you got your butterfly knife." The teachers all meet Sam and Dean. They're like, "Class, meet Sam. Class, meet Dean. Do you have anything you wanted to say to the class?" "No, we won't be here long enough." Dean is looking at the girls, and the girls are looking at Dean. The older lady teacher asks him, "Where are your books?" And he goes, "Don't need books, sugar.
Oh,
Not
he
gonna be
calls her
here long enough
sweetheart.
anyway."
Everything like, ugh, yeah, not.
Yeah,
That was gross.
it's highly disturbing. Sam meets Barry, and he's getting bullied by Dirk. Dirk is flicking his ear and going for a record. So Sammy's not afraid of Dirk, and Sammy sort of stands up to Dirk, and that's the first time we meet Dirk the Jerk.
Dirk the jerk.
Now the boys are infiltrating the school. Sammy is the janitor, and Dean is the PE coach.
Dean in shorts.
Dean in shorts, take your double drink now. Ah.
That was a good one.
Um, Dean teaches them to play dodgeball.
This whistle makes me their god.
Yep.
I
But
felt that line
there's,
so hard.
yeah.
This whistle makes me their god.
A kid gets hit in the face and he's like, walk it off, Colby.
He absolutely just obliterates it. He point blank chucks a dodgeball at a kid's torso.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I think they missed out on this was the opportunity for, because even by the time this episode, I could, for sure was in high school, a senior in high school when this episode was released. By this time, they no longer allowed to play dodgeball with those large dodgeballs that are now just used in kickball. They had moved to the softer foam balls because they didn't like ruin kids' lives
Yeah.
necessarily. But so that was the one missed opportunity. I thought they could have had him like, there's only like one dodgeball and it's because it's for kickball, and then they got like all the soft ones, and they could have had like a Dean moment of like, freaking kids are going soft or something like
Yeah.
that. Don't even have real freaking dodgeballs anymore. I thought that was a missed opportunity by the
Yeah.
writers. Maybe
I
weren't
love it.
clued into what was going on, the change in school these days. Anyway.
Yeah. The prop masters didn't know what kind of balls to get.
Yeah, that's right. Just like they tossed it up and said, "Go nuts."
So they can't find any sulfur. They don't think it's a demon, so they don't think there's a case. They think it's just a coincidence that the girl just killed the other girl and there's no case here. Except for what happens next in home economics class. A bully and a nerd are just sitting in front of an open Cuisinart, and the bully is like, "Hey, you're gonna write my book report," and the nerd is like, "Why? Because you're too dumb." And he's like, "If you keep that up, I'm gonna put my fist down your throat." And the nerd goes, "This fist," and shoves it into the Cuisinart and turns it on. Like, safety is not being maintained in this classroom.
No, not at all. I would like to point out that on the Supernatural Wiki, there is a still of this scene of the
Okay.
hand going into the blender and
Ew.
starting to get bloodied, and the young man screaming, Aaron screaming, or sorry, not Aaron, because I just want to read the caption. The caption's amazing. It says,
Okay.
Aaron ensures that the mean jock has one less fist to threaten him with.
Ew. That's gross.
It's a weird caption. Shout out to whoever put that on the wiki. I guess we could go change it if we really wanted
No,
to.
no, that's there to stay.
Oh man,
The nerd collapses and black ooze comes out of his ear. Take a drink.
taking a drink.
Ah. So they go around the school searching for EMF. It's got to be ghost possession. It just has to be. Dean found info on Barry Cook. He's like, I was looking for info while you were doing whatever. And he says 3 of the cheerleaders are legal. Guess which
Oh
ones? I
god,
know, it's so
there's
gross.
so many lines in this one that are just like, ugh,
Get it together,
Dean,
Dean.
golly.
So Barry Cook was the kid that Sammy knew from their time there, who was getting bullied by Dirk the Jerk. He killed himself on campus, apparently, and now the boys think he's possessing nerds to attack bullies. Flashback, take a drink. Barry's getting bullied again. Dean is smooching a blonde in the closet, and he's like, I don't have a curfew. It's just me and my brother for a couple of weeks. And she's like, don't you miss your dad? And he's like, I can go out all night. I can do what I want. We got a nice little setup, magic fingers, and all the free ice we can use. And it's clear that she like pities him.
The free ice.
Yeah.
The free. I mean, it's a good perk. It's a good, but also that is a sad sentence. The whole thing
Yeah.
is
And
good.
young Dean does a good job of making it seem like he's psyched about it.
Yeah, yeah. And she's like, okay, not exactly. I I love that she wants. I man, this girl is not reading this situation at all. Uh,
Amanda Heckerling.
oh, she's not reading the situation. Like just a complete misread on her part. I mean, Dean is swarmy and gross or whatever, but like, come on, girl. Like, he rolls in the way he acted immediately. You didn't think like any of this surprised you, but then you're like, I want you to meet my parents. You're a no high school girl wants her new in town boyfriend to meet her parents.
Right.
No,
Right.
who wears a leather jacket and calls the teacher sweetheart and sugar. No freaking way. And I believe that she's smart. She is smarter than it. I don't buy it at all.
Yeah, she's just there to be the voice of the audience,
Yeah, and
really,
to have someone
to
to
show us
smooch with
that.
a young Dean.
Yeah. So there was smooching. Take a drink. In the halls, Dirk confronts Sam. Dirk punches Sam, and the teacher comes and breaks it up right away. They salt and burn Barry's bones. That's when we get the inside the trunk shot. And we get a car BM scene, boy melodrama scene. He's at peace now. It's not your fault. You couldn't have helped him. And he's like, but maybe if we had stayed a little longer, I could have tried. We flash back. Dean is mad at Sam. You could have torn that kid apart. Why didn't you? Sammy says, I want to be normal. Dean says Amanda wants him to meet her parents. I don't do parents, he says.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a BM scene too.
Mm-hmm. In class, the teacher has them write an essay about what they did last summer. Sammy wrote an essay about killing a werewolf last summer. What was he thinking? What was he
Right,
thinking turning in
right,
this essay?
right. What you know?
I guess. But the teacher's like, I'm not going to flunk you. I'm going to give you an A.
You're the next Edgar Allan Poe.
Sammy's like, I have to go into the family business. And the teacher's like, I don't want to overstep my bounds. And then that's exactly what he does.
Mm-hmm.
He says, you don't have to do what you want to, you don't have to do what you don't want to do. Live the life you want to live. Okay. That is kind of an overstep. But they say family business like 3 times
Like,
in that
yeah, a
scene.
bunch of times, yeah.
Yeah. Back at school, so in the now, they go back to the school so Sam can go have a talk with this teacher. Yeah, go have your old captain, my captain moment, Dean says.
Right. I was like, it's either gonna be oh Captain Mike. I was like, either way, it's gonna be a Robin Williams moment, or it's gonna be Goodwill Hunting, or it's gonna be Dead Poets. It's like either it's gonna be it's not your fault, or
We get a sneaky flashback to when Sammy runs his hands through his hair. So there's a flashback there. Take a drink.
mm-hmm. Oh, I might have missed that one.
Yep,
I
it goes
mean,
by
missed
really
marking
quick.
it. I remember it, but I must have missed marking it.
A girl comes up to him and says, Where's room 305? Thanks, Sam. Uh-oh, she
Oh,
knows his name. Then she
the
stabs him with this compass
gig is up.
and kicks him. Black ooze is coming out of her mouth, and Sammy zaps her in the mouth with a handful of salt, and the ghost shoots out her back and runs into the prom sign that's hanging from the ceiling and zooms away. They're having a booze by the Impala. And he's like, it knew my name. It can't be Barry. We salted and burned his bones. And then Dean realizes that all the kids that have been possessed so far were riding the same
Let's see,
bus. He
how
calls
did we
them
miss it?
he calls them Martha Dump Truck, Revenge of the Nerds, and Hello Kitty, which I think is because she was an Asian girl, which is like
Um,
deeply inappropriate on all 3 counts.
yeah,
And he thinks this
yeah.
ghost is riding kids off the bus into the school. They search the bus. There's definitely EMF there, but they can't find anything linking the bus to the ghost. But something is tying the ghost to the bus. They find a driver's license for Dirk Sr. What? Flashback again. Dirk attacks Sam and Barry. Come on, lose Chester, he calls him,
Yeah,
instead
that
of
was instead of
Winchester.
Winchester. Yeah. Well, at that point, Sam's just been like, look around and like, really, guys, this, huh?
Huh?
That's the
Winchester?
best. That's the best this guy's got, huh? Come on now. Like
He
then
should
you
have
didn't have to.
known.
He wouldn't have had to punch him at all. He could have just like embarrassed him for being a
Yep.
dummy.
But Sammy beats the hell out of Dirk, and he starts the kids chanting again, Dirk the jerk, Dirk the jerk. So the kids all chant, take a drink.
Yes, chanting is what the kids at this school are really good at.
It
From
is.
the generation to generation, chanting is always something they're top notch.
It's their strong suit.
Yeah.
They go to visit Dirk's dad. They learn that Dirk died at 18. It was drugs. His mom died when he was young, and he was always sad in school. From the dad's point of view, Dirk was bullied. The kids called him dirty and
Right.
stupid, and so he was just lashing out because he was mistreated and had a bad home life.
Well, and what I kind of
So
figured was that, well, what I gathered was that it was, also had quite a bit to do with Sam beating him up, and that because like they were like freshmen or whatever, so then his life was like at school was like really awful after that. Like he already was lashing out because his mom had died, but then I also got the feeling that Sam's actions made it even worse
yeah, I agree. Sam gets some major guilt in that scene.
in this whole episode. Feels a lot of guilt.
We learn that Dirk was cremated, but a lock of his hair is kept in the driver, his dad's Bible on the bus. So the bus is out at night, driving along. Where do you think the boys got the spike strip to stop the bus?
That
There's no way they're
right,
ordering it from Amazon.
right. They stole it from some local PD or something. That is, it's not just in baby. They don't just have that in the trunk. It
Right.
takes up a lot of room.
And so when are they stopping buses? This is like possibly a unique experience.
Risking all of the lives of those kids on board.
Yep. But it's all worthwhile because the bus driver is possessed by the ghost.
Thank goodness.
There's a bunch of sports boys on the bus. Sammy pulls out a gun. Dean wraps the driver in salty rope. Aren't you the PE teacher? The sports coach says. I'm like 21 Jump Street, Dean says.
Yeah.
The bus driver sells pot.
That's
Sam
funny.
Winchester, says the ghost. Still a bully. And Sam goes into this whole BM scene where he's like, we were not evil. It was just high school. You and Barry never got out to realize that it gets better. So they shoot him with salt rocks, and the ghost zooms out of the bus driver and, he escapes. He escapes the salty ropes. They
Yeah.
shoot him with rock salt, and the ghost then possesses a big wrestler kid on the bus. Dean shoots the kid. Nothing happens. The ghosty kid is beating up Sammy, and he's like, Dean, find the lock of hair. Dean finds it in the driver's shoe. Like, how did he know to look there?
Yeah.
It was a lucky guess for sure. He burns the hair up. The kid falls on top of Sam. And Dean says, dude, he's giving you the full cowgirl.
Which is a callback to a joke at the very beginning of the episode.
Yep. But it's also very inappropriate.
Yes.
This is an inappropriate episode.
Quite inappropriate on a lot of levels.
Yep. We flash back again. Amanda Heckerling catches Dean smooching another girl. She's not mad. She's just disappointed. She reads him for filth as a scared and lonely little boy, and she feels sorry for him. Then we possibly get the most secondhand embarrassment of this whole episode, where Dean says, I save lives. I'm a hero. What? What, everybody?
I'm a hero.
So as he's walking down the hallway being shamed by everybody and given dirty looks by everybody, Sammy is walking down the high school getting congratulated by everyone, getting high-fived by everyone.
Which is wild. wild. Everyone is like, hey, good job beating up that other kid yesterday. Everyone hated him. Good job. Like, that to me was crazy. That
Yeah, I
this
agree. I
whole
agree.
school is like, but it's a school of chanters. So they just all just follow each other and they chant slut at people in the lunchroom and they,
Yeah.
but like I I I felt so icky in that moment of everyone being like, "Good
Mhm.
job, Sam. Good job. Good job. Good job." And I'm like, I don't think
No
this
one
is
else
how
here
I'm
could have beat
supposed
up
to
the
feel.
kid.
Right? Yeah, like there's like all these huge jocks and no one else. And I don't know. I just and also like the whole school heard about this one. I guess it happened out front, so maybe a lot
Yeah.
of people were around. But like, still, I don't think how anyone who watched what happened could then have been like, "Hey, great job." But I don't know. I don't know. It just bothered me so much.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh
Not the best.
no.
Not the best. Um so finally dad comes to pick them up in the Impala. And as they're driving away, Sammy wistfully looks up and sees Barry in the window, sadly waving to him. His life's not going to get any better because Sam beat up Dirk.
No.
We know it stays miserable and he kills himself.
Yes.
So now we're in the now. Sammy does go back to see the teacher. The teacher remembers him. And he's like, "So did you not go into the family business?" And it's like, "No, Sam did go into the family business. He's in the family business. You didn't rescue him at all." But he does
Nope.
say, "I think I went to college because of you." And the teacher says, "What all that matters is that you're happy. Are you happy, Sam?"
Nope. He's still a mechanic.
And that's the end.
Yeah.
That's cold. That is a
It
cold way to
it
end it.
is very cold. It is. It's a very interesting place to leave it, and yeah. Hmm. It was such a like. It's a cold episode. It's not a. There's not like heartwarming moments. I guess like you get a little bit of Sam and Dean bonding in the flashbacks where Dean's being protective or whatever. There's that, but like Dean is swarmy. Sam,
Dean is
like
so smarmy.
Sam is good and being righteous and just until a point when he then snaps, and then it's like. But then again, like I said, it's just weird because it's not like the episode recognizes that probably wasn't good. The episode's like, yeah, of course, it's good. We beat up the bad guys, but
High
then like,
fives, high
but at the
fives.
same time, you're telling me that this guy ended up having like a yeah, not having a good life. So then how are we supposed to I don't know. It was a very confusing emotionally episode.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, hurt people hurt people.
Yeah, and it's just like the cycle continues, and
Yeah.
that's what it felt like, especially with the drive off with the Barry waving out the window. Is just like Sam flashing back to them, remembering this or whatever, and just being like, "Yeah, no," and nothing really changes. Like I'm still beating up bullies in the same sense, and just chasing an endless litany of bullies that are trying to beat up the world or reality or this universe or whatever it may
Mhm.
be. um and so and it's going to continue for a long time. And I don't know, I don't quite I like the episode. It just don't see there weren't like
Well,
lessons or anything
yeah.
in there really.
Like I remember this episode fondly because I remember the dodgeball part and them being back in high school and young Dean and
Right, yeah, I
being
remember all
fun
that
and
stuff, yeah.
but it's
But
really
then
a dark episode.
quite quite dark.
It's a dark
And
ass monster of the week.
you have like lots of suicide talk as well throughout
Lots of
it,
suicide talk.
and just yeah, dealing with angsty teenage stuff. But it's like I said, there's the moment, the dodgeball moment, the kid getting pelted with the dodgeball is freaking awesome.
Yeah. That part's hilarious. The dodgeball part is the highlight of this
Yeah,
episode.
Dean in the shorts and everything is just great. But and like I said, I fondly remember this episode, and then watching it this time, I was just like, man,
Ouch. Yep.
this one has got some moments in it. And I was like,
Also,
as a oh
I was gonna say also Truman High, home of the bombers, seems kind of
yeah,
inappropriate. Like it would not be called that today. There'd be a
oh,
petition to change the name of that team.
especially because then they had the Hello Kitty joke in there too. Ugh.
Yeah. It was
A little insensitive
a
there.
little culturally
2009,
insensitive.
2008, because this was aired in January
2009, yeah.
2009. So, like 2008 writers.
Mhm.
Ugh. We are hopefully more evolved now.
We'll
People
see if they
aren't
get a
writing
season
it.
16. We'll see.
I know, all these rumors. Do you think it's going to happen?
Um,
Do you think it's
I don't
happening?
know. I don't know. Is Walker Texas Ranger still on?
Yeah, right? Is he still getting paid for that? Because I, part of me would be excited, and then part of me is just like, but what? We ended it, and
I
it should
know.
just
Is
stay
Dean gonna
ended,
be there from heaven?
right? Is he going to be an angel suddenly? And if we get Dean, oh, actually,
That would
that'd
be
be kind
cool.
of cool.
That would be
Dean is
neat.
an angel, and that'd be cool. And David Boreanaz
Okay.
can be in it too.
So how did our rules play
How
out?
did they play out, Krissy? Yeah.
All
All
right. How
right.
many times did someone say ugly?
Well, I only got someone calling someone ugly twice.
Oh, well, it said 4 total times.
All right.
How many instances of ooze?
I had 5 ooze instances.
I had 5 oozed instances as well. High
Nice.
five. We did it.
Woohoo!
How many flashbacks?
I counted 6, but I have a feeling you have 7.
Nope, I have 6.
Okay. Maybe I did count the hair flirling
The hair flip
flashback.
flashback.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, there's only one Dean in shorts double shot, double drink shot.
Yeah, he puts on pants for the next scene. He puts on some track pants. Which I was like, come on, we could have committed to Dean just walking around the halls in the shorts.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
How much smooching did you count?
I counted 3 times.
3 smooches. That's
3
correct.
smooches. Okay.
There's only one inside the trunk shot.
Okay, I was wondering. Because I only counted 1, and then I wondered if my handwriting was so bad that I spelled toilet trunk. And I was like, wait, was it supposed to be one of the inside the toilet shots from earlier? I don't know. Nope, trunk shot. Okay, I only got
Trunk
1.
shot.
Okay.
How many BM scenes did you count?
I counted 5.
Oh, I only got 3.
So you had like BM scenes in the flashbacks. I also
Mm-hmm.
counted the scene between Dean and the teacher at the end
Oh,
as a little
smart.
bit of a BM scene because
Smart.
actually I might have counted both of them, right? The flashback one and the
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think that I might have counted those as BM scenes. Cause I mean, yeah, he's talking about his life and his choices. It's just like the imaginary friend episode, just like the Sully episode, right? Of you can choose this life or you cannot, and that's what young Sam was always thinking about. Even old Sam is constantly thinking about. Which, yeah. Anyway, so I counted 5.
Okay, good job. Family business is said 4 times.
Yep, I got 4.
The students chant twice.
Yes, I do.
And you probably didn't count the Sammy rule because I sprung it up on you at the end, but it was said twice.
Twice. I caught it once, and I didn't mark it. I did it, but I didn't catch it the second time.
'Twas said twice. And that is after school special.
Well, it was super fun. The game, I liked playing it. Abby watched this episode with me, and she enjoyed it as well. I mean, she did her Sudoku, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I had a good time. Had a good time playing the game, and the episode, while not as good as I remember, was still good.
Yeah. Not as good as I remember. Way more inappropriate than I remember.
Yeah, Swarmy Dean.
Swarmy Dean. He
Ugh.
was even worse when he was younger. Who knew?
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, those early season Dean moments could have been even worse. Oy vey. Oh, but Krissy, our next episode.
What is our next episode,
I
Nate?
am hoping I can pronounce our next episode
Okay.
because we are gonna fast forward a little bit to season 8, episode 8.
Okay.
The title of the episode is Hunteri Hariochi. Hario, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, Hero ICI. So Hariochi, I think.
Okay.
Harochi? I can't. Anyway, here are the rules. Pronounce the episode however you like. The rules are we're taking a rule from this past game where anytime we got a flashback.
Okay. That's our new favorite rule.
Yeah, well, this literally this like there's string of episodes in season 8 is flashback heavy because it's Sam thinking about his life while Dean was in purgatory with
Oh,
her
right.
name
Right.
Amelia, was that her name? Yeah, just watch the episode, I should remember it. Anyway, take a drink anytime we see good like detect I'm just calling it the detective cast rule. Detective
Okay.
Cass on the case. We're taking a drink, Krissy, for an awkward moment.
Okay.
We get like just an awkward moment. Taking a drink. Taking a drink for BM scenes. Can't get enough of them. This episode's got a few of them. They're real fun.
Boy
Um,
melodrama.
love good
Melodrama
boy
rama.
melodrama. There's so many ways to get those in there. We're taking a drink anytime someone dies, Krissy. Anytime someone dies. And then this is going to go kind of with someone dies. Anytime there is a cartoony moment or a cartoon reference, we are taking a sip. Because, yeah, there's a lot
Okay.
of them. So take some sips on that one or just a drink if you're really feeling froggy. Because the others don't hit like super duper duper often. But that one's going to hit a lot. Just,
Okay.
yeah. So are you familiar with the episode?
I'm not.
I think you will be as soon as you kind of like put it on. One of the most famous supernatural gifs slash memes comes from this episode.
Okay. All the most famous gifts I can think of come from the episode Yellow Fever.
Yes, the Dean screaming. This no, but this one you will for sure. Yeah, you'll know.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Are those all the rules?
that is all the rules. I only
Oh,
had a
okay.
few rules for this one. That's all. That's all of them.
Awesome. Well, excellent. Thank you so much for listening and being with us here on Gank That Drank, a supernatural drinking game podcast. If you want more of us, go to truestory.fm, become a member of the pod. You get the episodes a week early. What? You
Yeah,
also get what else do you get? You get to go on the Discord. You can talk to us in Discord.
get the bonus content.
You get the
Real
bonus content. You get
real
us
quick.
chatting.
Krissy, I want to shout out real quick. This is very random,
Do
but
it.
I got to get it in here on the free feed before we get to the bonus content because shout out to the homie Wade, who I met today and played golf with randomly at the golf course today. And when I just told him what I was doing tonight, recording this with you, he went ahead and followed on the Spotify. He hit that follow on the Spotify and gave us a good old follow and said he's going to listen. So if he's listening,
Oh,
shout out to him. He went ahead. He's like, dude, just put it in my phone. I'll listen. And I was like, cool. So, we're boots on the ground. We're spreading the message.
yeah. Hey, Wade.
Hey, Wade. Random shout out.
Um, Nate, where can people find us aside from on the golf course? Where can people find us in the real world?
Well, first of all, you can find me on the golf course and take all my money because I won't bet you at all because I'm bad at golf. But in the real world, other than making people laugh on the golf course, we make people laugh at the neighborhood comedy theater in downtown Mesa. Arizona. And for all the ticket info and show details and when those shows are, because they're all the time, mostly on Friday and Saturday nights, but like they're all the time. Plenty of awesome shows.
Mm-hmm.
You can find that out at nctphoenix.com. Sign up for the newsletter. That's what I'll say. I like my newsletter every month
Yep.
because it says your friendly neighborhood comedy theater, which is so great, and also it is addressed to the name of a coworker I once like reserved tickets for at the show and just used my email, but it like addresses me as him. So it's like
Oh,
I'm getting my coworker's email.
nice. So it feels sneaky and furtive.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, I should just forward this to him every every month.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to come back to his show. I just think it's funny. I'm like, it's like I get his email. Anyway, yeah, nctphoenix.com.
All right. And while you're out there in the world saving people and hunting things, the family business, keep the Gank That Drank motto in mind. Be excellent to each other and party
Party
on,
on,
dudes.
dudes.